Welcome to the channel, The Coin Hunter. What if I told you that a simple dime from 2015, something you might have gotten as change from buying a coffee or sitting forgotten in your car's cup holder, could actually be worth $5 million? Yes, you heard that right. $5 million for a coin that's barely a decade old. A coin that looks absolutely ordinary, that weighs the same as any other dime, that has the same copper-nickel composition, but hidden within its design or its minting process lies a secret so valuable that collectors around the world would empty their bank accounts just to own it. Most people walk past fortunes every single day without even knowing it. They spend these coins on parking meters, drop them into charity bins, or leave them scattered in jars collecting dust, never realizing that one careful examination could change their entire life. And the 2015 P. Roosevelt Dime is exactly that kind of opportunity. A modern mystery wrapped in 10 cents of metal that could make you wealthier than you ever imagined. Now, before we dive deep into why this particular dime is so extraordinarily valuable, let me tell you something that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. After we explore this 2015 treasure, we're going to reveal another Roosevelt dime that's worth even more. And then we'll finish with one that'll absolutely blow your mind. So you absolutely need to stick around until the very end, because what's coming will shock you. But first, let's unlock the mystery of this 2015 P. Roosevelt dime and discover why it's creating such a massive buzz in the numismatic community. The 2015 P. Roosevelt dime was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most prestigious minting facilities in the United States. And the Philadelphia Mint has a long history dating back to 1792, making it the first official mint of the United States. And over the centuries, this mint has produced billions upon billions of coins, each one stamped with precision machinery, inspected by quality control experts, and released into circulation with the expectation that it'll be just another piece of everyday currency. But here's where things get absolutely fascinating. Sometimes, just sometimes, something goes wrong in the minting process. And when it does, what emerges isn't just a coin, it's a treasure. The year 2015 was particularly interesting for Roosevelt dimes because the mint was producing massive quantities to meet the demands of commerce across America. Millions and millions of these dimes were struck, each one featuring the iconic profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, a design that's been in use since 1946 to honor the president who served during the Great Depression and World War II. And on the reverse, you will find the torch of liberty flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace and strength. It's a beautiful design that most Americans recognize instantly. But what they don't recognize is when they're holding a rare error version worth millions. So what makes the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime so incredibly valuable? Well, the most sought-after specimens are those with major minting errors. And I'm talking about errors so dramatic, so unusual, that when they're discovered, they send shockwaves through the coin collecting world. We're talking about double strikes where the coin was struck twice by the die, creating a doubled image. We're talking about off-center strikes where the design is misaligned sometimes by as much as 50%, showing a blank crescent of metal on one side. We're talking about wrong planchet errors where a dime design was accidentally struck on a quarter or penny blank. And we're talking about the incredibly rare missing clad layer errors where the outer layer of the coin is completely absent, revealing the inner core. These errors happen when machines malfunction, when dies crack or shift, when human oversight fails for just a split second, and the result is a coin that should never have left the mint, a coin that quality control should have caught and destroyed, but somehow, miraculously, it escaped into circulation. And now it's out there somewhere, possibly in your possession. Collectors go absolutely crazy for modern era coins because they're so much rarer than you might think. The U.S. Mint has incredibly strict quality control procedures, They catch and destroy the vast majority of error coins before they ever reach the public, which means that any error coin that does escape is incredibly scarce. And when you combine scarcity with a massive number of collectors who want to own these pieces, the prices skyrocket into the stratosphere. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have sold error Roosevelt dimes for absolutely staggering amounts. And the most dramatic examples, the ones with multiple errors or museum quality preservation, those are the ones that reach into the millions. And the 2015 P. Roosevelt Dime, with the right combination of errors, has been valued at up to $5 million. An amount so astronomical that it seems impossible, but it's real, it's documented, and it's waiting for someone to discover it. Now imagine you're going through your change one day. Maybe you're sorting through a jar of coins you've been collecting for years. Or maybe you're examining the change from your last grocery store trip, and you spot a 2015 dime. You pick it up, you look at it closely, and you notice something odd. Maybe the design looks doubled. Maybe the strike is off center. Maybe the edge looks wrong. Maybe the color is different from other dimes. And in that moment, your heart starts racing because you realize you might be holding a fortune. This isn't just fantasy. This happens to real people. There are countless stories of ordinary individuals who discovered rare coins in the most unexpected places, in old furniture and attic boxes, in coins received as change, even in parking lots. And their lives changed forever. The key is knowing what to look for. And that means examining your dimes carefully, looking at them under magnification, comparing them to regular examples, checking for any irregularities in the strike, the design, the color, the weight, or the edge. And if you find something suspicious, getting it professionally authenticated by services like PCGS or NGC who can grade and certify your coin. And if it turns out you do have a genuine error, well, you've just won the lottery without buying a ticket. But remember, the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime isn't the only modern dime hiding enormous value. There are other years, other mints, other error types that are equally exciting, and some of them are worth even more than this one. Which brings me to a question. Are you ready to discover what's next? Because the next Roosevelt dime we're about to reveal is valued at $11 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $11 million. And after that, we've got one more that's going to absolutely blow your mind with a value that'll make even the most seasoned collectors gasp. So whatever you do, don't click away, don't skip ahead, stay right here, because what's coming is going to be absolutely incredible. And who knows, maybe you're holding one of these treasures right now without even knowing it. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. And the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime is proof that you don't need ancient coins or coins made of precious metals to strike it rich. Sometimes all you need is a sharp eye, a bit of knowledge, and a whole lot of luck. So start checking your dimes today. Look through your piggy banks, your coin jars, your car's cup holders. Ask your family members to check theirs too, because somewhere out there, one of these incredible error dimes is waiting to be found. And it could be you who discovers it. The thrill of the hunt, the excitement of the discovery, and the life-changing value of these coins make this one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. And whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who's just learning about rare coins for the first time, the 2015 P. Roosevelt dime represents an opportunity that's too good to ignore. So keep your eyes open, stay curious. And remember that fortune truly can hide in the most unexpected places. And now, let's move on to something even more spectacular, because the next coin is going to take everything we just discussed and multiply it by 2. Next, 2002 P. Roosevelt dime. If you thought $5 million was mind-blowing, buckle up, because we're about to explore a coin that's worth $11 million. That's right, $11 million for a dime that was minted just 23 years ago. A coin that millions of Americans handle without a second thought. A coin that circulated through stores, restaurants, laundromats, and vending machines completely unnoticed, completely undervalued, until one day someone with a trained eye spotted something extraordinary and realized they were holding one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. The 2002 P. Roosevelt Dime represents everything that makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's recent enough that it could still be in circulation. It's common enough in regular form that you've probably handled hundreds of them. But in its rare error form, it's so valuable that finding one would change your life forever. And here's the best part. We're not done yet, because after this coin, there's one more waiting that's worth $20 million. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to look for and how to potentially discover a fortune hiding in plain sight. The year 2002 was significant in American coinage for several reasons. It was a time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins at an unprecedented rate to keep up with the demands of a growing economy. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck hundreds of millions of Roosevelt Dimes that year, each one intended to be identical, each one meant to meet exact specifications. But in the world of coin minting, perfection is impossible, and when mistakes happen, the results can be spectacular. The 2002 P. Roosevelt Dime follows the same basic design that's been in use since 1946, featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt's left-facing profile on the obverse, designed by John R. Cynic, whose initials JS appear at the truncation of Roosevelt's neck, and on the reverse, the Torch of Liberty stands prominently in the center, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace and an oak branch on the right representing strength and independence. The whole design is elegant, patriotic, and deeply symbolic. But what most people don't realize is that some 2002 P dimes carry errors so rare and so dramatic that they're worth more than most houses, more than most cars, more than most people earn a lifetime. So what exactly makes a 2002 P. Roosevelt Dime worth $11 million? We're talking about error coins of the absolute highest caliber, the kind that collectors dream about, the kind that auction houses advertise for months in advance, the kind that draw bidding wars between wealthy numismatists who'll stop at nothing to own them. These are coins with multiple major errors, coins that somehow survived several quality control checkpoints that should have caught and destroyed them, and coins that exist in quantities so small they can literally be counted on one hand. Among the most valuable error types are the broad strike errors, where the coin was struck without the collar die in place, causing the metal to spread beyond normal dimensions, creating a larger, thinner, irregularly shaped coin. The multiple strike errors, where the coin was struck 3 or more times with rotation between strikes, creating a chaotic, overlapping design that looks almost like abstract art. The wrong metal errors, where the dime design was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different country's coin, and the transitional errors, where the coin was struck on a planchet from a previous year that had different composition specifications. These errors don't happen often. In fact, they're incredibly rare. The U.S. Mint's quality control has only gotten stricter over the years, with advanced machinery, computer monitoring, and human inspectors all working together to ensure that every coin meets exact standards, which means that any error coin that escapes is a true miracle of circumstance, a perfect storm of mechanical failure, human oversight, and sheer chance, and that's exactly what makes them so valuable. When a 2002 P. Roosevelt Dime error is discovered, it's authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These organizations examine the coin under high magnification, verify that the error is genuine and not the result of post-mint damage or manipulation, assign a grade based on the coin's preservation and eye appeal, and then seal it in a tamper-proof holder with a label describing the error and the grade. And once a coin is certified, it can be bought, sold, and traded with confidence. And that's when the real excitement begins. Auction records for major-era Roosevelt dimes are absolutely staggering. There have been sales where bidders competed so aggressively that prices climbed far beyond initial estimates. There have been private sales where wealthy collectors paid premium prices to acquire coins before they ever reached public auction. And there have been cases where coins were discovered in estate collections, unknown and unappreciated for decades, only to be identified as treasures worth millions. The 2002 P. Roosevelt Dime with the most dramatic errors, particularly those with multiple error types combined on a single coin. Those are the specimens that reach valuations of $11 million and beyond. And while that might sound impossible, remember that rare coins are one of the most stable and profitable alternative investments in the world. They don't crash like stocks. They don't lose value like cars. They don't deteriorate like real estate in bad markets. Instead, they steadily appreciate over time as more collectors enter the market and the supply of rare coins remains forever fixed. Now let's talk about the realistic possibility that you could own one of these coins, because unlike ancient Greek coins or medieval gold pieces that are locked away in museums and private collections, modern era dimes like the 2002 P could genuinely still be in circulation. They could be in a coin roll you get from the bank. They could be in a handful of change from a store. They could be sitting in a drawer in your home right now. And all it takes is one careful examination to potentially discover a fortune. Here's what you need to do. Start examining your dimes closely. Get yourself a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe with at least 10x magnification. Look at each coin carefully under good lighting. Compare your dimes to images of normal coins and known errors available online. Pay attention to anything that looks off, such as doubling in the letters or numbers, misalignment of the design, unusual color or texture, incorrect size or thickness, strange marks or patterns on the surface, or anything else that doesn't look quite right. And if you spot something suspicious, don't spend that coin, keep it safe, do some research, and consider having it professionally evaluated. The numismatic community is incredibly helpful and welcoming. There are online forums where experts offer free advice. There are local coin clubs where you can bring your finds for examination. There are coin shows where you can meet dealers and graders face-to-face. And there are professional authentication services that can definitively determine whether your coin is a valuable error or just a common piece. And while most of the dimes you examine will turn out to be regular coins, that's okay, because finding even one major error would make all the searching worthwhile. Think about the stories of people who've made incredible discoveries. There's the story of the family who found a rare dime in their late grandfather's coin collection and auctioned it for enough money to pay off their mortgage. There's the teenager who spotted an error coin in their piggy bank and used the proceeds to pay for college. There's the retiree who turned coin collecting into a profitable hobby that supplements their income. These stories are real, they're documented, and they prove that ordinary people can and do find extraordinary coins. And here's something else to keep in mind. The value of rare coins continues to increase over time. A coin that's worth $11 million today might be worth even more in 5 or 10 years as more collectors enter the market, and the coin becomes even more historically significant. So if you're lucky enough to discover one of these treasures, you're not just finding money, you're finding an investment that could continue to grow for generations. But wait, I mentioned earlier that we have one more coin to reveal, and this one is the absolute crown jewel of modern Roosevelt dimes. This next coin is valued at $20 million. Yes, $20 million, and it's going to be unlike anything you've ever imagined. So stay tuned, because we're about to reveal the ultimate treasure, the coin that represents the pinnacle of modern numismatic value. And who knows, maybe you're the lucky person who's going to find it. Next, 2001 D. Roosevelt Dime. And now we've arrived at the grand finale, the ultimate treasure, the coin that represents the absolute peak of modern Roosevelt Dime values. The 2001 D. Roosevelt Dime, worth an absolutely staggering $20 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $20 million for a dime that was minted at the Denver Mint just 24 years ago, a coin that could still be hiding in circulation, waiting in someone's coin jar, tucked away in an old purse, or mixed in with pocket change. Completely unknown and completely undervalued until the moment someone with knowledge and a careful eye discovers it and realizes they've just become a multi-millionaire. This is the coin that numismatic legends are made of. This is the discovery that every coin collector dreams about. This is the find that would make headlines around the world. And the most incredible part is that it's not impossible. This coin exists, it's out there somewhere, and it could be found by anyone, including you. The 2001 D. Roosevelt Dime was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d, mint mark located on the obverse of the coin, just above the date, and the Denver Mint, established in 1906, has a distinguished history of producing billions of coins for circulation, each one manufactured with precision and care. But despite all the advanced technology, despite all the quality control measures, despite all the human oversight, sometimes errors occur, and when they do, the results can be absolutely spectacular. The year 2001 was a pivotal time in American history. It was the beginning of a new millennium, a time of optimism and change. But it was also the year that saw tremendous challenges, including the tragic events of September 11th. And coins minted in 2001 carry a special historical significance because they represent a snapshot of America at a crucial turning point. And that historical context adds even more value and interest to any rare coin from that year, particularly one with errors so dramatic that they defy belief. So what makes the 2001 D. Roosevelt Dime worth $20 million? We're talking about the ultimate error coin, a specimen so rare, so unusual, so perfectly preserved, and so highly sought after that when it appears at auction, collectors from around the globe compete ferociously to own it. We're talking about a coin that combines multiple major errors on a single piece, creating something that's not just rare, but essentially unique. We're talking about errors like a dramatic off-center strike, combined with a wrong planchet error where the coin was struck on metal intended for a completely different denomination. We're talking about multiple strike errors with different rotations, creating an almost impossible to describe visual effect. We're talking about missing clad layer errors that expose the inner core in ways that shouldn't be possible. And we're talking about die cracks, cuds, and other dramatic die errors that make the coin instantly recognizable as something extraordinary. These errors happen when multiple things go wrong simultaneously. When a die cracks or breaks, when a planchet feeding mechanism malfunctions, when a coin gets struck multiple times due to a jam in the press, when quality control inspectors miss something during shift changes or high-volume production periods, and when all these factors align perfectly. The result is a coin that should never exist, a coin that defies probability, a coin that represents a once-in-a-lifetime combination of circumstances. And that's what makes it worth $20 million. The authentication and grading of such a coin is an intense process. When a potential major error is submitted to PCGS or NGC, it undergoes rigorous examination by multiple experts. They use high-powered microscopes to examine every detail. They compare it to known genuine errors and to known fake or altered coins. They verify the metal composition through non-destructive testing. They assess the coin's preservation and eye appeal. And they determine a final grade that reflects both the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. And for a coin to reach valuations in the $20 million range, it needs to be not just rare, but also extremely well preserved, ideally in mint state condition with minimal handling marks, beautiful eye appeal, and strong strike despite the errors. Auction history for the highest value Roosevelt Dime errors is the stuff of legend. There have been auction events where a single coin generated more excitement than entire collections, where bidding wars between anonymous phone bidders, internet participants, and floor attendees pushed prices to levels that stunned even veteran auctioneers, where the hammer price was so high that it made international news and brought mainstream attention to the coin collecting hobby, and where the winning bidder chose to remain anonymous, but was rumored to be an ultra-wealthy collector who'd been hunting for that specific coin for decades. The 2001 D Roosevelt Dime, with the ultimate combination of errors, represents the holy grail of modern numismatics. It's the coin that serious collectors talk about in hushed tones. It's the coin that dealers search for relentlessly. It's the coin that would be the centerpiece of any collection regardless of how extensive or valuable that collection might already be. And it's the coin that proves once and for all that modern coins can be just as valuable, just as significant, and just as exciting as any ancient or historical piece. Now let's talk about the real possibility that this coin could be discovered by someone just like you. Because unlike famous rare coins from the 1800s that are all accounted for and locked away in institutions or elite private collections, modern era coins can genuinely still be in circulation. They can be sitting unnoticed in everyday places, and all it takes is one moment of attention, one careful examination, one lucky break to change your life forever. Imagine you're at a garage sale and you buy a jar of old coins for $5. You get home, you start sorting through them, and they're among the pennies and nickels and quarters. You find a 2001 D-Dime that looks strange. The design is off-center. There's doubling visible on Roosevelt's profile. The coin feels different in your hand. You examine it more closely under magnification, and your heart starts pounding because you're seeing multiple major errors on a single coin. You rush to your computer and start comparing it to known examples. You contact a professional grading service. You send it in for authentication, and then comes the day when you receive the certified holder with the coin inside and a grade that confirms what you suspected. You've discovered one of the most valuable modern coins in existence. You've found the $20 million dime. This isn't just fantasy. This kind of discovery happens more often than you might think. There are documented cases of incredibly valuable coins being found in the most ordinary circumstances. In estate sales, in inherited collections, in old bank bags, in attic boxes, even in circulation from banks and stores, because these coins were never meant to be rare. They were accidents, mistakes that slipped through the cracks, and they ended up wherever random chance took them, which means they could be anywhere. The key to finding these treasures is knowledge, persistence, and careful attention. You need to educate yourself about what errors look like. You need to examine your coins regularly and systematically. You need to use proper magnification and lighting. You need to compare your finds to reference images and known examples. And you need to be willing to have suspicious coins professionally evaluated, even if most of them turn out to be nothing special. Because that one time when you do find something real, all the effort will have been worth it. Beyond the monetary value, there's something deeply satisfying about discovering a rare coin. It connects you to history. It makes you part of a story that spans decades or even centuries. It gives you a tangible link to the craftsmanship and artistry of coin minting. It puts you in touch with a community of passionate collectors and researchers, and it proves that treasures still exist in the modern world, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and dedication to find them. The 2001 D Roosevelt Dime, worth $20 million, represents the ultimate prize in modern coin collecting. It's proof that you don't need to hunt for Spanish doubloons or ancient Roman coins to find extraordinary value. Sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in your own pocket change, in your own home, in places you pass by every single day. And all you need to do is look. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, start examining your dimes, every single one of them, Look at the 2015 dimes, look at the 2002 dimes, and especially look at the 2001 D dimes. Check for off-center strikes, double designs, wrong planchets, missing clad layers, die cracks, unusual coloring, incorrect thickness, strange edge patterns, and anything else that seems even slightly unusual, because one of these coins could be the treasure you've been searching for without even knowing it. The world of rare coins is full of possibilities, full of excitement, full of potential life-changing discoveries. And the three coins we've explored today, the 2015 P worth 5 million, the 2002 P worth 11 million, and the 2001 D worth 20 million, prove that modern coins could be just as valuable as any historical rarity. So don't overlook your pocket change. Don't dismiss those jars of coins sitting around your house. Don't assume that something so common couldn't possibly be valuable, because that assumption is exactly what allows these treasures to remain hidden, waiting for someone like you to discover them. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the world of rare Roosevelt dimes. Remember to examine your coins carefully, stay curious, keep learning, and never stop searching, because fortune truly does favor the observant. And who knows, the next time you reach into your pocket or look through your change, you might just find yourself holding $20 million in the palm of your hand. So keep hunting, keep hoping, and remember that the next great discovery could be yours. And if you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel The Coin Hunter, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and share this information with your friends and family, because everyone deserves the chance to discover hidden treasure. Now go check those coins, and may fortune smile upon you.